Okay, so what is art? The technical definition is it's the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form such as painting or sculpting, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Now, I feel like this definition leaves it pretty open. It's pretty general. I mean, almost anything can be considered art if there's enough emotion and thought put into it. As long as you can get something out of it, I think it can be counted. So, movies. Movies are probably one of the biggest forms of art form, or they're a good way for the director and anybody else who has a vision to kind of make it visual, make someone else see the way that they see an idea or a message. And so for the first one, every movie can evoke a certain emotion or feeling, and there's dozens of genres, and there's plenty of things you can take out of them. So I'm just going to go through the certain genres and different feelings. So for the first one, I have romantic and also kind of comedy. I really like this movie. It's called 500 Days of Summer. Romantic movies can have a way of taking out a special feeling that you have someone. It could really make you think about it. It doesn't always have to be a significant other or someone that you necessarily love. It can just be a good, happy feeling that you have towards people. And comedies also do the same thing. They also always go happy and stuff. And I feel like this movie does a really good job at doing that. The next genre is action. Action is made to get your adrenaline pumping, to get you moving, to kind of not always knowing what's going to happen next, and kind of there's a lot of quick action shots. And Skyfall, which is my favorite James Bond movie, has a really good way of doing that. It's always fast-paced, there's always something going on screen, there's always something to focus on, but at the same time, you don't know what to focus on, because there's always something going on. The next genre, there's a few movies that I have into this. It's drama and also, I guess, mystery. This movie is from Requiem for a Dream, which deals with drug abuse and drug addiction, and it kind of just shows different viewpoints and different things that can happen while this is happening to somebody. And these drama movies always get you thinking. They always have really deep characters and deep plots. So you kind of connect with these more on an emotional level, and you invest a little more thought into these type of movies. Another one is Gladiator. It's about he's at the top of his prime as a Roman general, and then he's betrayed, and he becomes a slave in the gladiator arena right after he had his whole family slaughtered. So throughout the whole journey, you're with him on his, I guess, quest for revenge, and you kind of feel it with him. You're on the journey with him. You're waiting for that final moment where he's finally there with his worst enemy. Another one's The Departed, which is a crime movie. It's about undercover cops and also vice versa, criminals being in the justice system. So there's a really good plot. The characters are really great. Horror movies can keep you in the dark most of the time. You don't always know what to expect. There's always a sense of mystery and also excitement too out of pop-up images or anything like that. And Alien, in my opinion, is one of the best horror movies. If you haven't seen it, it takes place in a spaceship out in space, deep space. So the whole time it's very claustrophobic and very dark. It kind of makes you feel like you're in the movie almost. And throughout the whole movie, they don't always show the actual alien or creature a lot. They just kind of leave it to your imagination to expect the worst or to imagine the worst. And so it kind of just keeps you on the edge of your seat because you never know what's going to happen. Adventure movies, like Indiana Jones, I guess Star Wars could also be that. They always take you to different places all around the world, different galaxies, always different locations, and there's almost like a childlike sense of wonder and excitement while you're watching these, because you're always wondering where they're going to go next or what's going to happen or any of that. There's also visual movies. Now, Avatar, people say that the plot is exactly like Pocahontas. I mean, the plot itself isn't that great, and the characters aren't very deep, but the visuals were one of the best visuals of any movie that I've ever seen. A lot of the visual-focused movies are there just for visuals. They're there to exploit new dynamics in movie making and new things that can catch your eye, and just pretty much in the beauty of the art of it. Here's an animation and also visual, Coraline. This movie uses stop-motion animation, which is sets built on tables and stands, and they use, I guess, sort of dolls. And what they do is they move a little bit and then take a picture, move a little bit more, take a picture. And eventually, through editing and computers, they're able to put it all together into a big movie. And it's just really, really interesting to see how they do it, because the attention to detail on these sets and on these characters is just incredible. And the actors themselves, they're put through a lot of dedication and a lot of work, and this is a very good example. Christian Bale is one of my favorite actors. Over on the left, in the movie The Machinist, he plays a person working in a factory who hasn't slept in over a year, and he starts to become very paranoid, very not in good mental health. So for the role, he dropped 63 pounds down to a weight of 121 pounds to play this role. Now, when they do this, they're able to get you a little more invested into the characters, because they put themselves into the character. They became the character. I'm sure when he was in these characters, he was no longer Christian Bale. He was just in the movie. And 6 months right after that movie, he was cast as Bruce Wayne in the new Christopher Nolan Batman series. So, look, right, this is only 6 months after he made that movie. From the first movie, his diet every day was coffee and water and an apple a day. That's all he did. Now for the new Batman movies, he worked out about 3 to 4 hours a day. He very, very high carb diet. He was able to gain another 60 pounds back on his body, just pure muscle, and then also another 39 pounds during filming, so he never stopped. He was always doing it. And now, for his most recent one, which is American Hustle, that was a really good movie, and he played a con artist, and for that, he gained 43 pounds of nothing but fat. He just didn't work out, didn't do anything, just ate and ate. And a lot of people actually thought that was a fat suit, but it's actually his body. So he put his body through all this over all the years. I mean, he's done this for plenty of other movies. These are just the biggest examples. And just to think about the kind of punishment that actors' bodies and mental states can go through is just really incredible. Movies, just like any form of art, can always be ambiguous. No matter, it all depends on what kind of person you are, what kind of experiences you've been through. You can always pull something out of it, and it's always different for everybody. There's always a separate message. There's always a deeper meaning to almost anything you look at it. You can interpret it in however you want. Just look at it from a different perspective, and all of a sudden the movie can mean a totally different thing. So, the next time you're watching a movie, I don't want you to just watch it thinking that's just on screen just to be there. The actors are just doing this for money. Think about the work, the dedication, the messages, all of that, and how it can almost be like going to an art gallery when you're just watching it.